All right, let's get into this. Today, we're unpacking the master plan for a company that isn't just trying to launch another app. No, according to them, they're aiming to completely rewire the internet as we know it. And, they're not exactly shy about it. Right out of the gate, they're claiming that what they've built is basically the final evolution of online communities, the ultimate version. It's a huge claim, so let's see what's really behind it. And that ambition? Well, it's matched by the valuation. Their own projections point to a potential $2 trillion company at maturity. That's trillion with a T. Now look, that's obviously a best case scenario, but a number that big, you gotta take a closer look. So that really brings us to the big question we're tackling here. Is this the actual blueprint for the next tech giant, or is it a dream so big that the risk of it not working is just too high? Let's break it down. Okay, so the trillion-dollar vision. The plan is massive, so we're gonna demystify this thing piece by piece. If you forget all the jargon for just a second, the core idea is actually pretty straightforward. So here it is, the big idea. Imagine almost 200 different websites, one for every service you can think of. Doctorslocator.com, contractorlocator.com, all of them linked together into one giant organized system. That is the foundation for absolutely everything else. To really get how this is supposed to work, we've got to look at the three main pillars holding it all up. And the first one, maybe the most important, is what they call a massive digital land grab. This is the bedrock. So, they went out and bought over 195 premium domain names. The strategy here isn't just about owning a few good web addresses. It's about owning the entire vocabulary we use to find services on the internet. And the real power here is how simple and intuitive these are. Think about it. You need a doctor, your brain goes to Doctor Locator. Need a contractor? Contractor Locator. They've basically tried to corner the market on how we naturally think about searching for things, and they believe that's an edge that no one can beat. So, owning all that digital land, that's pillar one. But what are they going to build on it? Well, that brings us to pillar two, the plan to fix what they see as all the fundamental problems with social media that have built up over the last couple of decades. They walk through this whole history, right? GeoCities had topic-based neighborhoods, which was cool, but they were all separate. MySpace gave creators power, but it was total chaos. Facebook gave us one single identity, but then shoved everything into one messy feed. And TikTok absolutely perfected discovery, but the content has no permanence. Each one solved a problem, but ended up creating new ones. And here's their solution. Instead of a chaotic feed, you get 194 clean, organized channels. Instead of content that just disappears, creators actually get permanent ownership. It's their whole vision for a creator-owned economy, getting rid of the hashtag mess and replacing it with simple, natural language. Okay, now this part is pretty clever. It's their strategy for making sure users stick around. When you sign up, One Identity unlocks a professional email address on every single one of their 194 domains. The thinking is, once you start printing your name at contractorlocator.com on business cards and giving it to clients, leaving the platform becomes a huge pain. You lose your professional identity. The challenge, of course, is getting millions of people to adopt a whole new email system to begin with. All right, so we've got the digital real estate and the plan for a fixed internet. The third and final pillar is the argument that this entire system, well, it isn't really built for the web of today. It's designed to be the essential plumbing for the next wave of tech. They say the platform is sitting right in the middle of a perfect storm of tech trends. I mean, we're talking about explosive growth in voice AI, in smart glasses, in location-based services. And the core argument is simple. What do all of these new technologies need to work? They need structured, organized, location-aware data. And that leads to this really interesting concept they call agentic commerce. The idea here is that pretty soon, your personal AI assistant is going to be the one finding, booking, and buying services for you. And we are not talking small numbers. The projections they cite suggest this could be a market worth trillions of dollars.
And here is the key insight. An AI assistant isn't going to browse messy websites like a person does. It needs to plug directly into a clean, reliable, organized database, an API. The MyLocator universe, with its 194 separate channels of verified data, is built from the ground up to be that API for the AI-driven future. So you take those three pillars, the irreplaceable domains, the fix for social media, and the future-proof infrastructure, and you put them all together. What do you get? Well, you get to their ultimate vision, what they describe as a clear path towards an inevitable monopoly. And this whole thing is powered by what they call the community flywheel. It's pretty simple. It starts when a business uses its professional @locator email.
That acts like free advertising. Their clients see it and visit the platform. Those new users then start exploring other channels, and some of them become creators themselves, which just fuels the self-perpetuating cycle of growth. And the projected result of this flywheel is kind of staggering. Their documents calculate that just from email signatures alone, the platform could pull in 52 million new users every year, all without spending a single dollar on ads. I mean, that number definitely depends on some big assumptions, but it shows you the potential scale they're thinking about.
And this brings us to their final argument, their big closer. They claim this is the most defensible business model in tech history. Why? Because a competitor, even one with unlimited money, can't just go out and replicate it. They can't buy contractorlocator.com or any of the others. The natural language territory is already owned. So in the end, the goal is to become the Google of communities. The idea is that just like we say we're going to Google for information, someday we'll say we're going to Locator for any service, professional, or community we're trying to find. Which leaves us right back where we started. Is this a real, thought-out blueprint for the internet's next chapter, built on a foundation that's impossible to copy? Or is it one of the biggest, most ambitious digital dreams we've ever seen, one whose success hinges entirely on the massive challenge of changing how billions of people behave online? The plan, at least, is now out in the open.